Welcome back. All right, more news of the day for all you fine people on the internet. It is still Saturday. It is October the 4th. Of course, it's a big day in baseball as well. The Cubs and Brewers being done. I've actually got the Blue Jays game on the television currently. I've been switching back and forth, so I'm watching the Kings and the Ducks play. The four games I've got on the board today to review for later are Kings and Ducks, Colorado, Dallas, Ottawa, Montreal, and another Battle of Florida. I assume at some point, somewhere down the road, we're going to just see these teams just play each other all year. Just that's where it's going to end up. Anyways, starting off at the top of the board, that is normally how these things work. Ethan Bear, who may very well be on his way to the AHL anyways, but apparently he is going to be out for a few weeks of action for the Islanders. So that's one less roster spot that Darch even has to worry about. Just, at this point, Bear sticking around due to injury. The waiver wire today, kind of quiet. Tomorrow is the big day for waivers. Once regular season is on the way, you got to have your rosters finalized. And tomorrow's the last day they can put players on waivers to make that happen. So today, Kolyachonok being waived by Dallas. That was kind of seen as coming. I think he probably clears, but we'll see. Florida waives Bjornfot and Bussy being waived there. The New Jersey Devils busy with the waiver wire today. Bordelot, Cruikshank, Hallinan, MacEwen, and Colton White are waived. So the trade of McDermott and now waiving of MacEwen, it seems like that's a salary cap issue. The New Jersey Devils, with all the contracts signed and everything being cool for them, I guess, they're actually over the cap by $1.35 million according to Puckpedia. They had been over $3 million over the cap, so they're getting closer to the salary cap. And by sending certain players down, it will allow them to get under the salary cap in time for the start of the regular season. So I don't expect MacEwen to get picked up on waivers. It is an interesting move, giving up McDermott essentially for what is kind of nothing if MacEwen's going to be in the minors. But for New Jersey, they were under a bit of a cap crunch, weren't they? Colin White has been waived by San Jose, so that's why I used a first name, because both Colton and Colin White are on waivers. Good news for Sharks fans as well. Celebrini is making his preseason debut tonight in the finale of the preseason for the San Jose Sharks. So Celebrini, a lot expected out of him in year two of his career. He will be playing tonight for the Sharks. The New York Rangers, their game is done today against Boston. They lost that one 4-1. Interestingly, though, the one goal for the Rangers coming from Laba on the power play, and I feel like he has been prominent throughout their preseason. Should get himself a job on the roster for the regular season. We'll see how long he sticks around. One of my favorite things about the preseason is seeing these players that start to make themselves more prominent and they earn themselves a job. That's what the preseason's meant to do. Next year, when we drop down to just 4 games for every team for the preseason, we'll still see that. We just won't see as many of the... there's games early in the preseason where they're NHL games in name only, really. Jost is making himself comfortable in Nashville. He scores in his debut, I believe, with Nashville, the final preseason game for the Preds today. He gets on the board. So, at the very least, that's good news for Nashville, and we'll see how their season goes, of course. I also wanted to talk about this, Utah. Reason why I'm wearing Utah garb. Their 2-sheet practice facility. It's impressive how quickly they got their practice facility up. It took 13 months. It is a 2-sheet practice facility. I think it's at 146,000 square feet. Nicely done. And public areas will open in early 2026 for this Utah Mammoth facility, including a lobby, concessions, team store, skate rental, and locker rooms. Of course, the Canucks are on the board to finish it out. They're the only team without a practice facility in the National Hockey League. It does get talked about a lot. There is some debate about how important that is to NHL players, of course. The Canucks making news today with Sasson being demoted to Abbotsford. And of course, one thing with the Canucks with the practice facility, now that there's the PWHL Vancouver team, there's the option that may very well be out there of both Vancouver hockey teams sharing the same practice facility. So we'll see what the future looks like there. But Utah's got it done. The way this is described, it sounds very similar to what they have in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas's practice facility is great. It is. It is a really nice building, and might be the best poutine I've had in the United States was in that practice arena. I was a bit concerned when they're like, "Oh, you got to try the poutine." I'm like, but is it? Is it really? Because a lot of the time in the U.S. it's cheese fries, and nope, the chef's actually Canadian. So there you go. At least it was when I went there. That was some time ago, but I would imagine you don't let a chef like that go, right? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.